recording.
Wait, are you recording now?
Welcome. Yes. I don't know why.
We think we did the math. We're not really sure. We looked at a bunch of equations, and then none of them really gave us the information we were looking for because it was calculating from the same pool, and we're pulling from 4 pools. And so I think it's just you have a 1 in 9 chance times 4, so a 4 in 81 chance, which would be like a 4% chance. Is that right?
It was 4.9.
Or a point 4.9. So basically a 5% chance of winning.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm sure we'll have seen in the comments by now, but I'm betting that's exactly what they're going to say as well.
Okay, well, that's not so bad. So I think we just need to put 9 blocks in these. I think we're done, honestly.
Yeah. Besides the boat.
Well, yeah, but that's Doll's job. That's not our problem. So I mean, any block could work, right? Like, and honestly, we want them to be like a board with like item frames in it that they can put the items in. So there should be simple items like cobble, that sort of thing, dirt, things that people can easily get to put in item frames to buy when they buy their lottery ticket.
Okay, so let's lay out what we want here.
What do you think the
Cobble,
cheapest
dirt,
items?
Oak, planks.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna go to my house and just start looking in chests and see what I got a whole shitload of.
the sun just like the moon just flew by. That was crazy. So while we're doing this, I gotta ask, how is virtual school going for you guys? Because it is.
I think it's going fantastic. Personally, I don't see it being any different for the most part than a normal school. The differences I see is with certain students, but for my daughter, it's almost the same as going into school every day. Netherrack could be another one because everyone's got tons of Netherrack. For her, she's at her computer at a set time, which is the same as being at her desk at a set time. The teacher is there. They do attendance. They do all the normal things that would happen on a normal daily basis.
You got a nice color palette over here, by the way.
Yeah, I've been trying to build a house, and I've been trying to decide what I want to do for the floor and stuff, and that's as far as I've gotten.
So is she in school with people like for 8 hours?
Not 8 hours, no. Her typical day is she's at her computer at 8:15. She has morning work that she do, which is basically like alone work. It's math, and so she knows where to log in to get that work and start working on it. So I'm gonna grab some granite too, and diorite, like all the just the most basic blocks, I guess. Got netherrack, dirt, stone, granite. I haven't found cobble yet, but cobble should be one of them. Maybe gravel. Like you said, oak and oak planks. So I don't have any of those. I don't have any damn cobble, surprisingly enough.
I have 55 here.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6, 7. So we just need 2 more blocks. So diorite and something else, and then we'll be good.
Andesite?
I have andesite. Right now I got netherrack, dirt, stone, granite, gravel, andesite, cobblestone. So like diorite and maybe sand. Yeah, diorite and sand, I think sounds good.
I'll go collect some sand.
Actually, I have some sand up here. I dug a whole bunch yesterday to make concrete. So it's in a different chest because I was staging. But yeah, like so she's got her normal routine. So just I was gonna tell you what it was, and so I'm gonna try again. It's diorite. Here's some right here. Well, break that. I'll go look in this cave for some diorite. So she's in her chair at 8:15. She's got her morning work at 8:30. The teacher appears, and they kind of go over whatever that morning work was, see if there's any questions. Make sure it's normally like whatever math and stuff they were doing the day before. They kind of do like a wrap up of it the next day, sort of thing. And then after that, they have like a set schedule. There's cursive. I'm not going to know the schedule off the top of my head. If I was looking at it, I could obviously tell you, but like there's basically the normal stuff, math, reading, cursive.
A bunch of diorite down here.
Yeah, I found a whole bunch just now too. so it's all of those the normal things. And then at 10:15, she has a break for 15 minutes. And it's your normal break, bathroom break, and a snack that she would have at school. So I've been preparing her snacks like I always did. Whenever she would go to school, I've tried to make the environment as close to her going to school as possible by, her computer's all set up and ready to go. She's got a quiet space to do her stuff. And like I leave her alone unless she comes to get me, so that it's just her and her teacher and her classmates, and I'm not like in there like hovering or anything like that. But I'm just in the next room if she needs me. All right, I got a stack of diorite as well, so we have our 9 items. We could use a bit more granite for whenever we set up a chest in Patronville for them to, because I figured we'd put like a stack of each thing so they could just use that to fulfill in the item frames.
Granite, you say?
Yeah, that's the red one. I found some in the ceiling here.
Because keep in mind, we need to fill up all our hoppers with it too. Or are we just putting one in each hopper and then
one in each dropper? Yeah, we just need one. Unless we change it later to have more items to make it harder. We'll see how a 5% chance of winnings. It's not that high, but it's not that low, right?
Well, but I was thinking we don't need to put one in the dropper. We could fill the droppers so we don't have to refill it. Like it's
yeah, that's true. That's true.
But we can start with just one. I mean,
yeah. And we could test it now too and stuff. We need to make 4 more droppers too. We don't have any droppers for the first set of seeds for the dyes. So then she's back in the classroom at 10:30. They don't actually leave the call. They just cut off their mics and their cameras for the 15-minute break. And then she's with her teacher again until noon. And then she has an hour break from noon until 1 where she eats lunch and can have a recess. It's been pretty hot outside, so we haven't been really doing anything. It's cooling off now, so we might start actually going outside and doing something during recess. Then at 1, she's back, but not with her teacher. She's now with the resource teacher. So it's different every day. So like one day's music, one day's art, one day's PE, which PE is pretty special inside your home. But and that lasts like 30 or 45 minutes. And then she's done for the day. So by 2 o'clock, she's done. The teacher gives a little bit of extra work each day to like kind of like homework, so to speak. But it's kind of weird calling it homework whenever it's all homework. Yeah, so she's got that little bit of extra stuff after school. So by 2 o'clock every day, she's good. She's done for the day, basically, which is it's a little bit less than the way it normally is. In a normal scenario, it would be she wouldn't get home until like 4 basically, but yeah, schools are like 3:15 kind of thing. So yeah, it's a little bit less than a normal school day, but I think it's close enough. Because in the normal school day there's other things happening. There's travel time to the lunchroom and to the PE room and the art room and all this stuff. So that extra hour each day probably isn't really getting used at school anyways.
right.
For actual instruction.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's different because we're in like pre-K 3, which is
Yeah, what's it like for your Montessori school?
So they literally have a 9:30 meeting every morning that lasts for about half an hour.
Is that like the start of the day?
Yes.
Is that with the parents or with the kids?
Well, it's with the kids. Like everything is with the kids, but they're pre-K 3, so the parents are, somebody's involved because they have to get it like ready. I mean, it's pretty cool the things that they do. I've only got to see Jack do it like one time so far because I'm usually at work. But then it's like half an hour of that, and then on 2 days a week, he's got another meeting at like 10:30 or 10:45 or something like that with his teacher. And other than that, that's it. Wednesdays are 2 days a week. Wednesdays are completely nothing because it's home time for the kids. So he gets like an hour and a half of schooling on most days, and that is all there is to it. Yet since the school has started 2 weeks now, there's been like 4 evening meetings with like different meetings with the parents. Today was back to school day, which normally is like, your open house or whatever. They didn't email anybody about it until yesterday and said, oh, by the way, parents, back to school day is tomorrow starting at 6 o'clock. 6 to 6:30, we'll give you presentations on the school. We'll introduce the staff. Like you'll understand.
It almost sounds like they just didn't have a plan. They just like
And
Or
then
wing it.
6:30 to 7, it was, oh, the teacher wants to meet with people, like the families. Again, we've met with her 4 times already in the last 2 weeks. Like, so it was very strange. But it was a group setting this time as opposed to like one-on-one. 6:25 today for the 6 to 6:30 meeting. They were still introducing people.
Like who?
I didn't know that there's this many people at Capitol Hill Montessori, because it's just like there was this class's person and this class's person and this class's person and the librarian and the support staff, and I was just like, who the fuck are these people? Like we, we've never gone physically to this place because like it doesn't exist right now. They're moving from one school to another, so even if we were in physical school, they're in a temporary location right now because they're building the new school for next year. So there's no real place, so I don't know enough about this. But it was 6:25. They were still doing introductions for a half an hour meeting. They were supposed to get into the whole, this is the Montessori concept. Like, now that we're trying to like embrace virtual, these are the things in the way that you should get things set up at your house, which is just fucking ridiculous, by the way. It was just like, these pre-K3 kids, you should, give them this. They need this equipment in their space, and they need it to look like this, and they need it to be like that. And it's like, come on, like, really? Like, granted, it's not just a pre-K3 school. It's just what we're paying attention to because we're there. And then the second half of the meeting didn't start because it was, with just the pre-K3 families until it was supposed to start at 6:30. It didn't start until after 7 because the other meeting went for so long. It was supposed to be half an hour, and it was still 50. Wow. You there? Hello? Hello? Mr. Guude? Let me see if I am still in a chat. Copy. I don't want to copy. I want to go there. Sorry guys, everything just froze and I lost everything. Hey Guude. I can see you talking, but I can't hear you talking. Hello? Hello? There you are. I hear you now.
Okay.
That was so weird.
What happened?
My whole computer just froze, and I thought it had hung up. Like hung up. I thought it just hung, and out of nowhere, it just like everything happened in fast motion. It got caught back up, but I couldn't hear you anymore.
Okay, well, that was very weird.
So yeah, that was strange.
But yeah, you were basically saying that it was 7 something before you even got started on the actual meeting.
Yeah, so we didn't get out of that meeting, which was supposed to be a half an hour. It was over 50 minutes long. So I just don't understand what's going on with these people, and like they seem to think like they haven't acknowledged the fact yet that we're doing school at home. Therefore, there has to be like a home caretaker to do this. They haven't seemed to acknowledge any of that yet. That they keep talking about, oh, this is a crazy time for all of us, so we're doing everything we can to make sure this virtual thing, like we're set up to do all this virtual thing for you. And it's like, yeah, by just telling us constantly these random times to be online, and then also at night, without acknowledging the fact that people work during the days. Like, how are you dealing with the people that like were planning on sending their kids to school that cannot, let alone having the kids do all this stuff during the day and then having the parents have to engage for 2 hours at night?
Right.
Like, I don't think they seem to be so focused on
they're like in a bubble, basically.
Right. And I would get it. Like, I do things at work all day, and then I come home, and if I have something I need to keep working on, I have work to finish. That's what they're kind of like, they're doing their work and they have some overtime they have to do, essentially. It's like, we're doing a different job and trying to get our kids in the middle of that job to do school and then having to do overtime at night.
Right.
And I'm not saying this because I'm not doing a lot of this because I'm at work, during the day. So my wife and her mom, thank God, are, in town to help out with all this. And they're now on vacation in your state. That I can't go to because of the stupid DC quarantine order. So they're doing all this from vacation and having to engage like at night on vacation. The whole thing is just crazy to me. I don't think they're acknowledging the fact that there's not just them at burden here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how a lot of parents in my area are doing it. Luckily with my daughter, I work from home, um, and am able to make sure that
You
she has
mean play
everything she needs.
video games?
Oh God, don't get me fucking going. But yeah, I'm able to make sure she has everything she needs, right? But I mean, I can just from the bit of me being in a call while other people were supposed to be making sure their kid had a good environment to learn in. I can tell that a lot of parents aren't taking this seriously, and it's just at the detriment of their child, unfortunately. Because so often, like my daughter will unmute her mic, and then there's just lots of noise in the background and stuff, and so it's just that's not how it should be. Like your kid should be in a quiet place, and probably some of the things that the Montessori people are telling you, like, you need to be well lit and free of toys and other distractions and stuff like that. And I don't think every parent is making sure that's the case for their
Well, and I
kids.
don't even know if every parent has that ability. Like that's the problem. Like there's so
Sure.
much
Oh
more
yeah. I mean,
involved.
I don't want to sound
Sure,
like
and sure, no, I understand you. There's some people who clearly aren't taking it seriously.
right. But yeah, I mean, like, okay, so like Renee was telling me of a scenario, like her daughter is having a hard time. Her daughter is in second grade, but she has some mild social issues. She's not like full on autistic, but she has some of the same type of things to be on that spectrum. And so, she's got a little bit of a difficulty in this environment already. So she's breaking down crying and stuff a few times whenever things just get overwhelming. But not only that, Renee's telling me there's a lot of girls and boys in her class that are in these teaching pods where they're in some room in a bunch of like cubicles, basically, with a bunch of other kids of all grades, and there's like one teacher for the whole room of like 30 kids in these teaching pods. And so Renee was saying how fucking insanely loud it is every time those kids unmute their mic because there's 30 other kids in a room all doing the same shit. And she said the kids that are in those remote things seem to be having the worst trouble, where they're just constantly breaking down and they're like trying to get help from the one teacher in the room, but that one teacher's helping so many other kids already. So like, I don't know. Like I think there's a lot, and it's just not consistent from when I'm talking to other parents in the same grade as my daughter in different school districts. What they're doing is completely different from what we're doing. Like with Renee and her daughter, how I was saying we're like 8:15 to 2 basically.
Mm-hmm.
She is 8 to 4 with a 1 hour break. So like she's got a much longer day and only 1 hour break. So it and Renee, Renee's not in my position where I really don't work during the day. I'll respond to emails and work on like Google Docs for like the marathon and shit like that. But for the most part, I don't, I'm not in trying to stream or anything. So I'm attentive to whatever my daughter needs. But Renee, on the other hand, she's got work to do. She's got clients and shit like that she has to see. And luckily, a lot of them are able to come to her house and stuff. But like, it's still like there's times where she's just like, "All right, child, don't talk to me because I have to work." And I'm sure there's tons of parents that are going through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All right, so listen, I've got everything set up here, I think, for this first one to
yeah,
run.
I just
So,
realized that very back left one we don't have all the dyes in yet, and we ran out of green, so I'm trying to look for some cactus.
oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we didn't finish this at all. Huh. Look at this.
I think it's just that back one though, right?
Let's see. No.
No?
The back right one, same thing. Nothing.
Some bitches.
Yeah, we stopped at blue in the back right one. So we did all the green there. Well, this one looks like it's ready to run, so I can run one of them. I'm gonna run it, see what happens, see if it works.
Man, I was thinking I would just run somewhere and find cactus, but that is not having luck. Didn't you say there's some place you can easily get the green dye?
Patronville.
Oh, I don't want to go all the way over there.
So this worked. Are you drinking potions here?
Am I drinking potions? No, I'm like way off in the distance trying to find a...
Someone drank an invisibility potion here, I'm pretty sure. So this worked. It spit out a dye and we got a cobblestone out of it.
Okay.
And then
Proof
the
of
brown dye's
concept
here.
done.
So I can now put the brown dye back into the dropper and put the cobblestone back wherever the fuck it came from.
We shouldn't need to put the brown Oh, back into the first dropper.
Yep.
Okay, I gotcha.
And let me try running it again, just to make sure.
Oh, come on. Why is there no beach or desert I've run so far? I don't know why I'm running, actually. I have
Oh, I got cobble again.
I
Oh,
did-
did we hit brown twice in a row? Really?
the ability for flight.
You did. Okay. Well, that can happen, I guess. Put it back in.
Dude, who's building this big crazy sky thing?
That could mean anything.
Oh my
Who
god,
knows?
it's insane.
Let's try it again.
Okay, here we go. Finally some.
Okay, I've got cobble again. Really? Are we only getting?
Is
It is
only...
droppers we're using, right? Dropper.
Yeah, they are random, right?
Well, we tested that.
We did test that.
Okay. Well, I've gotten cobble every time. Just cobble back in.
Do you keep just putting like the brown dye in manually?
No, I'm just hitting the button on this dropper. All right. Okay, this time we did not use brown dye. All right.
So note to you guys watching, cobble might be a
Yeah.
decent combination.
All right, we got stone that time. All right. So it works, and then we get our yellow dye back. Put it back in the dropper.
I'm in the middle of this desert in order to get this cactus that I didn't know anybody would be around, and I just came across this line of hoppers.
Oh, it's probably Cone's Desert. That's where he made glass, I bet.
I was like, please tell me there's like a cactus farm over here. But yeah, it does look like glass.
Okay,
Well,
we hit yellow twice in a row. So far, cobble and stone are the real strong results here.
Cobblestone.
Cobblestone. Grab the yellow back.
I'm trying to grab as much cactus as we'll possibly need, and then just like some cactus we can plant to get more.
Smart. We hit sand that time.
We hit sand. Like pound sand?
Pounded some sand. No, yeah, we got whatever color sand is what we just got. So yeah,
Well, sand
it is random.
Sand is brown or red in this game.
Is it really brown though?
Beige.
I think it's more like a yellow. Well, not yellow either though. It's something. It's a color. Yeah, I was curious about the Montessori stuff because I don't know how you teach pre-K kids anything remotely, honestly. This is going to be this generation of our kids is gonna have either the greatest minds or learning disabilities.
Well, I will say, like, Jack's a smart kid anyway. Like, he already did his like her one-on-one with him to find out where his baseline was at, and he could, count to 12, do his ABCs. He identifies like the numbers 1 through 4, like when he sees them, which I guess is like, ahead of a lot of where they expect you to be for that stuff. So that was nice to hear. But they sit there and they're singing like songs about the days of the week and things like that, and he's already like singing them at home. Right. It's only been 2 weeks, so he's like picking up on this stuff pretty quick. Okay. And I guess that I don't know how different that is to what they would do in person, though. Yeah.
No. I think that's what's going to be hard is to know what to expect as a new parent to school, right? Like you don't have, if you have other kids or whatever, all right, my kid's learning as much as my first kid did or whatever. Nice firework, Jeff.
Thanks. It was like you shooting the bed in the last episode. It's just it was just that.
But yeah, if this is your first kid to school experience, you're like you don't really know what to expect, and if things are being performed on par, you don't know what to expect from the teachers. Like there's just a lot of unknowns. As much as this sucks for us, I'm glad that my daughter was at an age where she at least understood what was expected of her in school and stuff. So. Honestly, at this point, I want to find a fucking class that teaches her how to take a goddamn shower. I'm so tired of fighting her on washing and rinsing her hair. It is driving me crazy. like tonight, I should have been in here and ready at 9 o'clock because I got her in the shower at 7:40, and that gives her plenty of time to take a shower, us read books, and be ready to fall asleep at 8:30. Like I want to lights out at 8:30, basically. But it was more like lights out at 9 o'clock because she took an hour and 40 minutes to take a shower because I had to send her back 3 fucking times to rinse her hair. And like it's become a common thing. Like she's at an age, I think I've talked about this before, where like, you know, at the start of the year, basically I told her, listen, I'm done helping you with showers. Like you're old enough now. You're gonna be 9 years old this year. Like you're 8 years old, I guess I should say. You're 8 years old. You need to be able to take your own bath and showers at this point. You don't need my help to do it. And sometimes she does a great job, but then like lately she gets out of the shower, and that's the thing too. Like, so I'm giving her privacy, right? So she's like tonight, she gets out of the shower and she decides that she's scared and doesn't want to dry off in the bathroom. So this is already a fucking nightmare because she left the bathroom dripping wet and went and stood in Oreo's habitat to dry herself, dripping. And like his habitat's not a complete mess, but there is some hay on the ground and stuff, you know. And she throws it around. I sweep it up every couple of days, especially now it's hardwood. It's not that big of a deal. But he's got some hay around, and she's just standing in fucking hay, dripping. And so I heard her come out of the bathroom, so I thought she was done. So I started coming back there, and she's like, "Don't come back here! Don't come back here!" And I'm like, "Why not?" And she's like, "I'm not dressed yet." And I'm like, "Why are you not? Why are you what? Why are you not dressed?" She's like, I'm just not." And I'm just like, "Well, tell me why. Why are you not dressed? Why are you out of the bathroom but not dressed?" And so that was like a whole fucking ordeal just to get that information out of her. And so she finally tells me, "I was scared." I was like, "Okay, that's fine. If you were scared, that's fine." At the time, I didn't realize that she hadn't dried at all before she left the bathroom, so I didn't realize the extent of this. So whenever she finally gets done drying, I'm like, all right, do you have your towel around you? And so I go back there, and then the whole top of her fucking head is just shampoo. And I'm like, did you even rinse at all? Like, why is it all shampoo? And at this point, like, this has been an ongoing thing for like weeks and weeks that I'm just like so fucking fed up with this. And I'm like, I don't understand why this is an ongoing issue. Like, why are you not rinsing your head? It's not that difficult. If you just touch up there, you can feel the fact that it is slimy and shampoo. That is all that's up there. It's like not even rubbed in shampoo. It's just like a layer of like, there's not even soapy. It's just shampoo.
Has she explained to you yet, like, why? Is there, like, have you gotten a reason out of her? Or not?
No, because like, whenever this keeps happening, I have like, privacy be damned, I've like last week, there was a point where I'd sent her back in there 4 times. And after the 4th time, I said, all right, fuck it. I just have to rinse your hair. This is not getting done. I don't know what to do. And I've been like, show me what you're doing. And she doesn't want to get soap in her eyes. She doesn't want to get water on her face.
I was going to say that, so Jack, granted, he's only 3. He has the same issue. He loves to take showers now instead of baths because I think it just makes him like feel cool. But he will not, no matter how many times I tell him, he will not shut his eyes to put his head under the shower. He does.
She definitely shuts her eyes.
He does it himself. Like he'll put his head under the shower, like with no big deal. But if I put soap in his hair, he doesn't understand the concept of shutting his eyes. And no matter how many times I tell him, it just ends up into a screaming match, and he ends up crying because he gets soap in his eyes, even though it's like the kid soap. It's not stuff that's not supposed to like hurt your eyes. But he just sits there with his eyes open. No matter how much I tell him to shut his eyes and get his head under the water, he like refuses to put it under at first, and then it becomes like a battle, and I have to kind of like force his head under there, like not really like physically forcing him to, but I keep telling him, you have to put your head under here, just shut your eyes and let the water get on there, and he'll put his head under and just start crying insanely because he's getting soap in his eyes because he won't shut his eyes.
Yeah.
So I deal with the same thing with him. With washing his hair is the worst part of a bath. He loves baths. He loves showers. He doesn't like his hair being washed.
I just don't know what to do with her at this point. Like tonight, like she ended up the 3rd time going back in. She just sat there and cried the whole time because I finally lost my temper with her. I didn't yell at her or anything, but I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. If you come out of this shower one more time with your hair covered in shampoo like it is right now, you will spend tomorrow sitting on your bed thinking about what you need to do to learn how to rinse your hair correctly. And that's exactly what I said to her in that tone, and it just destroyed her. And so she just broke down squalling. But like, I'm just so fucking frustrated at this point. Like, I don't understand what to do. And I've talked to Crystal about it too, because like, like I said, I keep giving her tutorials on how to do this, but like I know that she's uncomfortable with the guy seeing her naked at her age now. Like she's getting to that point where like her boobs are starting to get more than just a flat chest and stuff. And I understand that, and I want to give her that privacy, but like somebody's got to I can't have her have a greasy fucking head and look gross and shit either. And like she shouldn't be like that either. So like I don't know what to do.
Does she have the same problem at Crystal's?
Yeah. And my daughter refused to take responsibility for her own actions. She's always blaming someone else. So she blames Chris. She's like, "Mommy won't show me." And I'm like, you know what? Even if that's true, I've given you 4 tutorials in the last month on how to wash your hair. So even if your mother is not showing you, I have. So you have no excuse. Like the other day, like they had like 2 foster dogs, and they told her she could keep one if she could take care of it. And so they did like a trial run over the weekend to see if she could keep this dog. And I guess like her cousin-in-law or whatever came over, and she wandered off. I may have already told you the story, but she wandered off, didn't take care of the dog.
Yeah,
so they told her she couldn't keep it. And she tried to blame everyone but her. Well, so-and-so came over and said, we need to go look at the horses and all this. And I'm like, it's not their fault that you forgot about the dog, though. Like, you were the one that was responsible for the dog, nobody else. So she's just got this blame mentality lately where if something did go wrong, it's not her fault that it went wrong, even when it is. So she wants to blame other people for this shower thing. And another thing she's not been doing lately is wiping her fucking ass. And the reason why I know she's not wiping her ass is because she doesn't flush the toilet either. So I go in there and there's just a fucking turd and no toilet paper in there. And I'm like, how gross are you? What are you doing? So like that's been a thing too. Like the rule I've implemented with that. If I come into the bathroom and you've not wiped your ass after you've taken a shit, you're getting in the shower. You're stopping what you're doing. You're taking a shower. So if you don't want to take 4 showers a day, wipe your ass and flush the toilet.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I'm afraid of what I'm in for in the future as well.
Yeah, being a parent can be very frustrating, honestly.
Do we have purple?
Yeah, purple's a thing. We are down to only 13 of it though.
Yeah,
that's red and blue.
Well, we have. Is it purple or magenta that we have 13?
We have purple.
We have 13. Purple. Okay, so we need 18. I think we need 36 of those. And brown.
We probably need to get more brown. I can get that from Patronville though. Shit, we're 30 minutes in. I've been sitting there ranting about showers and shit. So we gotta go. I'll go grab those from Patronville after we stop recording.
All right.
But yeah, this side over here works. It's a working thing. I think next episode we can finish filling this in. How am I can you finish it in, filling it in before the next episode, and then we can go to Painterville or Guude or somewhere and set up the board where they actually pick their lottery stuff at, and then it should be good to go. We do the first lottery sometime.
We're gonna do a pre-boat.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So what Dahl wants to do is he wants the items to come up in a water elevator, and he wants there to be a bar on this level, kind of where you're standing now. There'd be a bar up here, and then behind the bartender, the items to kind of flow up and into a spot where they're on display.
Well, the only problem with that is we would need to change this somehow so they end into a dropper.
Yeah.
And the dropper would have to trigger.
Right. I think we could figure that out with a clock or something, though. That probably is not that bad. We don't have to have these 4 chests here. We can just put these into like a hopper that goes into a dropper or something. But we can figure that out once he's got more of the boat itself built.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody. See you.